The Bucks and Raptors proved why the NBA is still worth following. Hey guys, welcome back to Film Froze. The modern NBA has its fair share of problems. The reigning champions Milwaukee Bucks and 2019 champions Toronto Raptors, though, prove that the league is still worth following. Let's talk about this a bit more in detail in today's video. Stay tuned. The NBA is superstar driven, which will lead many to think that Brooklyn and LA will easily roll through their respective conferences. You can also make an argument that the Nets and Lakers will advance to the finals, and this would be an entertaining matchup. But what can't be argued is that it will be an easy path for these two to get there. The 2021 Milwaukee Bucks were a prime example of the extreme unpredictability that's still present in the super team era. 4 straight grueling years of getting eliminated in the postseason from 2017 to 2020 included 2 first-round exits. The Bucks then picked up Jrue Holiday, traded for PJ Tucker at the deadline, and just like that, they had a chance. Now, there are a ton of teams just like the Bucks and Raptors who's come up short of achieving their playoff expectations in recent years, but are already defying everyone's expectations. The Utah Jazz are at the forefront of the dark horse contingent next year. The Western Conference's #1 seed was eliminated in round 2 by the LA Clippers, but with Donovan Mitchell entering year 5 of his career and the front office acquiring veteran pieces like Hassan Whiteside and Rudy Gray, the Jazz are now equipped for a deep run next year. Now, everyone is calling for the Jazz's second round exit, but don't forget that's how we felt about Milwaukee and Toronto. Now, almost every team has expectations of winning a championship. This NBA season is going to be insane. The Bucks are a team that proved that it doesn't take playing in a large market to succeed, and that if you surround yourself with one top 10 player who relentlessly believes in their team's chances with the right pieces, anything is possible. Now, what we mean by relentlessly believes in his team's chances was exemplified by Giannis Antetokounmpo. The phrase was the Greek freak, repeated throughout last season, was that Milwaukee was built for this. He said that all throughout the regular season and even after the Bucks went 2-0 to Brooklyn and Phoenix. We could sit here all day talking about all-time great court values that Giannis displayed. Additionally, the man's all-out efforts between the lines was inspirational, but without Antetokounmpo's utter belief in the box, he wouldn't have won them the chip. Team leaders who have resembled Antetokounmpo's optimism include LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Chris Paul, Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, and Damian Lillard. Some of the players are ringless and some of them have achieved the ultimate glory, but our point here is they've all had a chance to win a title in the near future. Everyone's going to say that Milwaukee would never have won the title if Kylie or Harden didn't go down, but injuries happen regularly to the game's top players. Milwaukee, along with Phoenix, were the last team standing and played whoever were in front of them. That not only should give them a lot of respect, but those two teams getting all the way to the finals last year should bring a lot of intrigue and hope to fan bases. That's the first thing you need to complete the non-super team championship formula, a determined, committed, and user-talented #1 option. However, that's only one of the many pieces to the puzzle. In Toronto, they had Mark Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Danny Green, among many others who were willing to step up and knock down buckets and defend on the other end. In Middleton and Holiday, the Bucks have 2 second and third go-to guys who were elite players on both ends of the floor in their run to the title. Now, what does that mean? If you have a 20-plus points per game scorer as your second most important player, of course that means something in the past-paced NBA, but if that player is a tad below average in terms of his rotation and one-on-one defense, come the playoff, your team is going to get exposed. This is because while the regular season sees high-volume, top-notch offensive teams thrive, things slowed down significantly during the postseason. Holiday showed us he was the best guard defender in basketball, while Middleton was all defensive team caliber. Well-suited, high-producing clutch role players form piece number 3 to the formula. These players complement the top players. PJ Tucker stopped Kevin Durant from averaging 60 in the second round. Brook Lopez was almost there to make swift defensive rotations and knock down shots when Milwaukee needed them. The three-point sniper in Brian Forbes and fan favorite Bobby Portis were the other key role players. The Bucks lost Forbes to San Antonio, replacing him with Grayson Allen. They also resigned Portis, who was a big point scorer off their bench. Last but not least, coaching aspect. Now, coaches often get in the way of a superstar leadership. Nick Nurse in 2019 was a good example of a coach not doing that. Nick stuck up for his players and let the guys on the floor dictate the personality of the team. We saw Mike Budenholzer do the same thing with Giannis, letting him dictate the play. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.